Right then. So we're out here on the Zen porch. Saturday morning. I don't want to leave. The lake is flat glass, foggy, and I don't want to go anywhere. It's dead calm. Not even a stitch of breeze. But stuff to do, right? So you've heard me say it before about this place, how it's so good that I don't have to worry about things. I don't have to worry about bad people, crime at all. Back in the day, my friend, the cat farmer, she lives down the road from me, literally 300 yards down the road. And back in the day, before this was even a pipe dream or a thought or a possibility, her and I would talk about things, you know. And she has a big pole barn down at the end of the road that she's a pack rat, and it's full of stuff. That's where I got the bearskin rug. That bearskin rug was wadded up in a ball, and the deer mount that's on the wall in here was wadded up in a ball in that pole barn, subjected to bugs, mice, rats, things like that. And I saw those items and I was like, what are you doing with them? Well, I got them from my uncle when he passed away, and I was thinking about selling them. I says, I'll take them. So I rescued them from certain destruction. So anyway, talking through the years, I've been friends with her for like 12 years, talking with her through the years, she was concerned that one of the people in this area was a troublemaker. She leaves that pole barn unlocked, and she was thinking that he was coming down on his four-wheeler and going into the pole barn and stealing stuff. Klepto. Now, the person she was talking about was my friend Brad down the road. The young 20-something, 30-something guy, who I think is autistic. Now, autism is a mental disorder, and it causes people to do things, you know. So you can't really fault the guy, but if he was doing this sort of stuff, it's not right, right? Well, since I bought the house, Brad came down and introduced himself, and I've gotten to know him, and we're friends. And he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do it to me anyway, because we're friends, right? So I do have security camera on the house and on my stuff, right? But I don't have to worry about him. Yeah. He's on a wilderness camping trip right now somewhere. And last night he was sending me a bunch of pictures from his campsite and stuff. So we have a common interest. and we're buddies, so he's not gonna steal from me. Nobody else in this neighborhood, so to speak, is a problem. So case in point, last night I had intentions of going out into the garage and starting to load up my tools and stuff for the big day down at the Turd today, right? The weekend. So I opened up the garage doors and I forgot to close them. They've been wide open all night long. Nothing missing, nothing messed with. Now Brad's not here, he's camping, but still, even if he was, I trust him. And he knows I have a camera, so I would catch him doing it. He's the only problem, possibly. And that's straight up rumors from the cat farmer. So, you gotta take it at face value, right? But I went out just now to grab something, and the doors are wide open. They were open all night. Wow. But I'll tell you what, if I was living in the park and I did something like that, there's a possibility I would be missing some things by morning. Not necessarily from the tenants in, well, I can't say that. Scrunchy had a cooler stolen right off her deck by one of the tenants in the park, who also, we think, is a little mentally unstable. A kleptomaniac of sorts. But that situation would be a lot more sketchy to leave your garage door open. So there's that. This morning, slept in a little bit. Having some problems ever since I quit smoking the cigars. I'm having some problems with being sleepy when I drive. Yesterday I fell asleep behind the wheel and actually was drifting over the center line. Up here right now it's tourist season. There's all kinds of traffic. That's not good. I could have died. So I don't know what's going on there. But when I have the longer drives from one stop to another, I'm having a hard time staying awake. Yeah. And what saved me before, I believe, was continually smoking. I was doing something with my hands and whatnot. It kept me awake. Now, I'm not taking the pipe in the van. This thing puts out so much smoke that that van would smell like a cheap-ass hotel room. No. And it's too fiddly to smoke on the road. That's why I switched to the cigars. It's just so convenient. Pull one out of the pack, light it, smoke it. None of this tamping, none of this cleaning the pipe, filling the pipe, relighting. So I gotta solve that problem. What I did yesterday, I'm pissed at myself, but what I did was I actually stopped and got a pack of smokes. Yeah. Cigarettes, not my cigars. I wasn't anywhere near a Quick Trip where they sell my cigars. So I bought a pack of smokes. That cost me $10 for one pack of smokes. But it kept me awake the rest of the day. Not good. I'm pretty upset with myself. Because it's been over a month since I quit those things. anyway, there's that. Mia's on her way out west to hang with her dad for a week and get to the bottom of what his medical problems are. Surprise visit. She's heading to the airport right now. She called in to check in with me and let me know how things were going. She's off the anxiety pill. As a result, she's very anxious. Yep. The littlest things are freaking her out. So she got a notice this morning from the airport that she had not checked in yet for her flight. When she had checked in online for her flight. So she's not sure whether that means she hasn't checked in at the gate yet in person, and that's what they're talking about, or when she checked in online it didn't register, and she's all worried. When she was on the super Ritalin pill, she would have been, it's nothing. Yeah, it's all good. That pill was a miracle for her. I told her, I said, you need to get back on it. Your life is going to be shit if you don't get back on it. It's got side effects, gives her headaches, and makes her queasy. But I honestly think that could be operator error. She's not following the application instructions on the pill. In other words, she's probably supposed to take it with a big meal so it doesn't upset her stomach. And she's not doing that. She's taking it first thing in the morning when she wakes up. And all she eats in the morning is something tiny, a thing of yogurt or something. Follow the instructions. But she doesn't like the side effects. So that's part of the reason she got off of them. She laid a guilt trip on me yesterday. She told me she went in for her last, or for another allergy shot for the cat, so she could be around my cat. And this program is apparently a series of shots that she has to get to be able to be in the presence of the cat without having a severe allergic reaction, bronchial lockup, major asthma attack kind of thing. So she told me, oh yeah, I went in and got my shot, but once the battery of shots is done, I'm not going to take them anymore. I'm not going to get them. So that was a jab at me for leaving her. Yeah. I told her, I says, I think you should keep getting them, because what if you're hanging out with people that have cats? Or you meet somebody, a new guy, and he has a cat. That way you're already fortified against the situation. No, I'm not going to meet anybody. I'm not going to be with anybody. You were the last man I'm going to be with. I'm too old to start a new relationship. My heart is spoken for. She's just passive aggressive, laying on the sauce. Yeah. Scrunch seems to think that if I were to give her the green light, give me the green light, she'd be back in a heartbeat. I can't do it though. No, can't do it. One of the biggest reasons is the money situation. As it stands right now, I can afford this place on my own. But it's a stretch. I just paid my bills this morning. I got paid yesterday. Paid my bills. I haven't paid the mortgage yet. I can do that at the beginning of next month when another paycheck comes in on the 10th. After paying my bills, I'm left with a couple $100 to live on for 2 weeks. Gas, possibly food. Not good. So what I need for a life partner is a business partner, a co-investor in the project. You know, at my stage of life right now with my income, owning this lake house all by myself, even though I drastically cut the mortgage payment down, now it's $1,600 a month instead of $2,700 something a month. For a single guy like me with a single income, it's still a stretch. Yeah. So whoever the life partner in is has to be an equal contributor to the project and has to make good money. I have no, and this is going to sound harsh, I have no capability or room for a broke loser or a gold digger. Like the diva succubus mongoose, who doesn't want to work, doesn't want to contribute, expects the man to pay for everything, while she just lives footloose and fancy free and looks like she's living the good life. Fancy car, lake house, going out to supper clubs, events. I can't do it. I'm not an attorney who can afford a trophy wife and to literally pay for his sex. No, I need a business partner who's contributing equally to the good life. Period. Mia can't do it. She's saddled by the trust fund. She can't do it. Oh, she's got money up the wazoo, but it's locked up. She can't touch it. Scrunchy is a viable option if we can just keep her temper under check and her proclivity to be a quitter. So that's that. All right, so I eventually woke up here and I got a lot of shit I gotta do before I head down south to work on the mission of the turd. But I thought I'd make a quick video first. So I picked up that fogger. I want to show that off here. We're not going to do a box opening, but that's the fogger. Yeah. So you mix the insecticide in the water in that white tank on the bottom, and then this thing spits out a very fine liquid mist. Oh, what is this coming in? Oh, it's a great big blue heron. Just landed on my brush pile. Wow, that was cool. The lake is real foggy, and he come flying out of the fog like a big old B-52 bomber, and he's now sitting on the log pile over there. Wow. Wouldn't have been able to spin the camera around fast enough for you to see that. But anyway, this thing spits out a very fine mist of liquid insecticide, and it coats all the foliage, your grass, your ferns, your plants, and it puts a layer of insecticide on those items. And then when the mosquitoes land on the foliage, like they would be right now, because it's foggy, it's damp, it's cool, all the mosquitoes are currently sitting on the foliage, resting. It kills them. That's how all the mosquito companies do their business. Mosquito police, mosquito beater, all these companies that are popping up all over that'll spray your yard and you'll be mosquito free. That's how they do it. Yep. It's a residual insecticide that sits on that foliage and kills mosquitoes when they land. And it works in your lawn for ants, spiders, creepy crawlies. It's a beautiful thing. So that tool cost me 75 bucks, but it's going to be huge around here. So I'm going to treat my yard. I'm going to treat Tim's yard next door as thanks for that big 2x10 board that he gave me. And the lasting effects are about 3 months, I think. So 2 applications a year would suffice. And the way it works is it kills the mosquitoes and disrupts the breeding pattern. And that's what ends up leaving you with a mosquito-free yard. Mosquitoes don't fly very far. So when they come into your yard, they haven't traveled very far. And if you can kill them, it takes a while for a new batch of mosquitoes to come into your property. So that's how it works. So I'm pretty excited about that. I had to add that. And that's the first tool that I've seen like this available. Yep. Awesome. Chemical fogger. So we got that. So anyway, I sat here and paid a flurry of bills. I have hardly any money left in the account. I got to put together all my tools and stuff that I need for this trip down south. I got to hook up the trailer. I got to stop at Menards on my way down and pick up some materials for this project. And then go down to the house and work on it. Now, I'm supposed to be picking up that lawnmower today. I've got a concern that maybe I got scammed. I asked the guy, the seller, for a picture of the wheel on that tractor that has the bad valve stem. And the reason for that was, if it's the same wheel as what I have on my machine here that doesn't run, I'll take one of the wheels off my machine, put it on that machine today, and then I can use that tractor to cut my grass at the trailer. So the plan was, go down to the trailer, Scrunchy meet me there, offload the paneling and the other items that are on the trailer, jump in the Jeep, drive farther south to this guy, pick up the tractor, put the new wheel and tire on it, and then come back to the turd. And one of the chores that we could do this weekend is mow my grass with the big powerful tractor. Well, here's what happened. I asked this guy for a picture of that wheel so I could see if it's the same wheel as what I have. And then this morning I'd go out with a couple of tools and I'll pop the wheel off of my tractor and take it down there. I asked him for a picture. Yeah, I can do that. was the response. Most definitely, I'll get you a picture. No picture. Nothing. I said, I need your address so I can come to your house to get the tractor. No response. I don't know what's going on. Now, there is, that's how people hijack your Facebook account. They post stuff for sale on market. I don't know how they do it. No idea how it's done. But they post stuff for sale on Marketplace, and they don't actually have anything that they're selling. And you start to communicate back and forth with the person, and somehow they're able to hijack your Facebook account and then pretend to be you on Facebook. That's happened to me before. I'm wondering if it just happened again. Because when you think about it, the price for this tractor is extraordinary. The guy was selling it for 150 bucks. It runs, it mows, nothing wrong with it. It could just use an oil change and one of the tires won't hold air. Sounds too good to be true, right? Why hasn't somebody else snapped this up immediately? Why is he interacting with me and magically it's still available? These are all things that go through my mind, right? He's not responding with the picture of the wheel. Could it be because he doesn't actually have a tractor for sale? He hijacked photographs of somebody else selling a tractor, created his own ad just to start communicating with people so he could hijack their Facebook accounts. That's what happens. No lie. So, not gonna lie, I'm a little concerned right now. Yeah. If I have to, I don't ever go on Facebook. I just go on there for Marketplace. But I've bought and sold stuff on Marketplace, and I have a good reputation on there. But if I have to, I'll just wipe out my Facebook account, start over. Yeah. I never go on there. Yeah. So there's that. So anyway, I got to get in the rain locker here and get some shit together and get this party started. But I just thought I'd do a quick check-in, and I'll bring you along for the journey this weekend. And even though I don't want to be down there, it's the last place I want to be right now. Right now, I'd like to be out on the lake fishing. Yeah. Dead calm. Yeah. I've heard fish activity, surface activity. So they're feeding. Yeah. If I could just snap my fingers and the trailer situation, done and gone. Camp, done and gone. I'd be a much happier boy. But we'll get through it. Yeah. Maybe everything will be resolved, sold, settled by winter. Hopefully. We'll see. Talk to you soon.